Hi guys, let's talk about my plan for this bike. This is the stock color that I have, and this is in its basic configuration. I'm not sure when this picture was taken. I found it online, but this is essentially what the bike is supposed to look like. So if I were going for a restore, it would look like this. But I'm not going for a restore. I'm going for this, which is a 2020 XSR 700. I really like the look of this bike. So that being said, what I like about it is the gold rims. I like the tank and the stripes on it. And I also like how the fender is raised up into the frame underneath the seat rather than being attached to the rear swing arm. It opens up the back of the bike, and I think it just gives it a better look overall, a little bit more modern. So let's talk about how I'm going to do that. The first thing I'm going to do is delete the rear railing on the bike. This little guy, I'm not sure what it's for. I don't think it has any real structural component to the bike because there's an underlying frame rail that goes underneath the seat that this rail attaches onto. And I'm also going to either move or get rid of the rear fender. I'm not sure which yet. I have to see how it fits up under there. But we're going to put that fender essentially right there. So you can see that supporting rail, and then this guy right here is the filler port for that rear air shock. We're going to do something modern with the rear tail light. All that's going to be aftermarket, probably just eBay stuff because I'm cheap, but we'll see. The next thing we are going to do is black out the engine and all the trim pieces in the center of the bike. This is going to make the rest of my colors pop, I hope. As well as the engine, we're going to black out the exhaust. Now my rear mufflers back here are in pretty rough shape, so I think from about basically where the rear tire starts, I'm going to go aftermarket with that, and I'm just going to get something simple, something probably, again, cheap, but either way, it's going to end up black. Next thing we're going to do, well actually what I already did was paint the front shock. So that's already matte black, and the wheels are already gold. So that's 2 steps I've already taken towards getting this thing close to this. The next thing we're going to do is going to refinish the front fender in the red color, which is more closer to these guys. And I'm going to paint the tank white. That's going to be a big to-do. Then we're going to put the stripes on the tank as close as I can get them. It's really hard to replicate these stripes because the tank shape is so different. But the main thing is it's a kind of a, looks like to be about an inch wide black stripe, and it wraps underneath the tank up front and it disappears into a point in the back. So I tried to copy that as best I could, following the curves of the existing tank. We're gonna get a vinyl cutter and get ourselves a new logo and put that guy on there. And yeah, I think that should get us where we want to be. So this is what we're shooting for. It's not going to be exactly like that. I was messing around, throwing ideas around, trying to see if I can get this color, like an accent color, but I don't think it suits the engine layout of this bike. It's kind of clunky. I was thinking about kind of painting this guy that color, but I just couldn't really. Anyway, in this program I couldn't get the colors right, and I just think blacking it out would be so much simpler, and it's going to look pretty good regardless. So that being said, let me show you guys what I've done to these wheels. Got tires. Just a set of Shinkos, front and back, both for $117. Not that bad. Now I have to take this one off
But I'm also going to remove the brakes from each side, get them all nice and cleaned, and give them a coat of paint. Got these guys cleaned up, and unfortunately they look pretty good. There's some spots where the paint just isn't really alive. Some spots where it's pitted. But this is all going to be gold. So, time to get sanding. Well, I had a timer go off on my phone, so you missed the last 10 minutes. But it's done. I never want to do that again. And I still have the other half of this wheel to go. It'll be alright. It wasn't so bad. That one might even be easier. Kind of got carried away without the camera, but it's all taped up, it's all masked, sanded, cleaned, all that. And the first coat of primer is currently drying. I thought sanding in these tight corners was difficult, but getting paint in there might be a little harder to do, so just gonna take it slow. I don't want any runs like that fork over there I had to redo, but we'll see. It's been a few hours. Let's peel this tape back. So, spoilers, I already did the other side. I had to make sure I didn't completely mess it up. But we're looking pretty good. I'm very happy with it. I can't get this tape off the valve stem, so whatever. Moving on towards getting this thing painted. I'm gonna get these shocks cleaned up and painted. Although these things are kind of twisty. Can I just pull these off? No. Oh well. Well, I'll just leave them on there, and I'm going to clean them up. I have a wire brush to scrape most of the crud off. And then I'm going to give them a nice wash. Get them sanded down, taped up, and primered. Cue the time lapse. now that I have this one all cleaned up, I'm kind of thinking it'd be a shame to paint these because they cleaned up rather well. Just kind of, you see some pitting from age and sitting around. So I'm wondering if this will take a polish. I got some mag and aluminum polish here. Let's see how good we can get these things in a little bit of elbow grease. An old sock. Yeah, that shined right up compared to the old side. Dang, huh? It's still really pitted, you can see. So I am gonna hit these with some sandpaper and a little bit of metal primer. Gonna make them matte black. I hope I don't ruin them, but I've been getting okay at painting, so we'll see how they come out. First coat, let that dry for a few minutes. Back for coat number 2. So bug landed right there. Gotta wait for it to dry, sand that down, start over. The bug didn't mess us up, surprisingly. I let this dry for a little bit, hit it with a quick blast of 220. Cleaned it nice, and the paint looks pretty good. So we're going to continue with the flat black. Let that dry. Hit it again in a couple minutes. Time to unwrap our presents. Let's see what this guy looks like when we pull all the masking off, huh? Alright, not looking too bad. I'm pretty happy with that. That for a couple hours and about $8 worth of spray paint. paint on the forks and the wheels, honestly better than I was expecting. I'm very, very happy with that. I was thinking about just continuing on with the paint and giving this thing a whole full strip and going bit by bit, cleaning, sanding, painting, reassembling. However, I haven't even ridden the bike yet, and I would really like to do that. So I think I'm going to kind of make some backwards progress. I'm not in any hurry with this thing, but I want to ride it. So I got the tank professionally cleaned in its back. It looks great. I'm going to need new petcocks. I'm going with the Yamaha Raptor petcocks, so you don't need them to be vacuum activated. So I'm going to put, I think, just one in it. I'm going to make a blocking plate for whichever hole is up front, and I'm going to use the other one just as the regular on-off reserve in the furthest back section of the tank. Then I'm going to put a T in the fuel line and then send that off to both carburetors. I'm going to get front wheel on, back wheel on, do my best to rebuild the front brakes, at least, you know, get them actuating, because right now they're frozen, so I have them soaking in WD-40. Hopefully that loosens them up. The lines look okay. The cylinder up there looks okay. So I think I'll be in good shape to at least whip it around the neighborhood for a little while, make sure everything works. So that's what we'll be doing next episode, so long as I can get parts, because this whole coronavirus thing is, you know, putting a hamper on a lot of deliveries. So we'll see what happens. Again, I'm not in a hurry, and thank you so much for watching.